Hi guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit Girl here. So here's the deal. I filmed this video already, making this cute little folio, but the way I had my camera set up, it was actually really hard to see what I was doing. I was missing kind of this bottom half, and the camera is angled kind of more at the back of my desk. So I am gonna redo the making of the actual folio, the base of the folio, but I'm going to include, I showed the sample and you can see that just fine. So I'm going to just kind of edit this up and chop it up a little bit and include this, the part where I show this video or this sample folio and all the details of it, what it looks like, and kind of the beginning of the sample. And then I'm going to cut to my redo of this, of actually making it. And I think that'll be a little smoother. And then I might include some of the bits from decorating and things, just once I see what the footage looks like and whether there's anything worth saving in terms of the decorations. So I look forward to making this project with you. Hi guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit Girl here. And I know I've done a couple of kind of hauls and quick and easy projects lately. And so I wanted to do something that would kind of let us tuck in a little bit more. And so I've got this super cute folio. It is a little complicated, but I'm going to walk you through it and hopefully we should be able to get it just right the first time and it will come out beautiful. So this is with one page to make the base, of course, and then I used a lot of other elements to decorate, of course. Vintage Lady. I'm not remembering now if this one came from the pack that's on my website or if this is potentially someone else's. I forget on this one. But I had some scraps left over from the Stamperia music collection that made a really beautiful background for this. And then some of my favorite washi tape from the album Love Handmade. I forget the name of the paper that I used for this background. I don't love that paper pack. This is kind of one of the only papers that I like a lot. And it's got, you know, postage stamps all over it, but it's not a great paper pack otherwise. I can't really super recommend it. Okay, and so I, put a closure on this just because it got a little chunky. So I've got some lace on here underneath my cover design. And this opens up like this. And I've just decorated the inside. You're going to be able to decorate the inside however you like. Well, I'll walk you through making the format. But then we'll see. I think I'm probably going to do some decorating because I'm going to use this Prima Marketing French Blue paper pack that I have. And it's really beautiful. So maybe we'll do some of the decorating. I just did a big tag as a pocket here. And then a sort of stacked, layered set of pockets just stuffed with all kinds of little tags and things. There is a pocket here on the side that we'll make when we make the structure. And I'm just going to make sure that I have my 2-inch circle punch for that notch there. And then I put just a little card in there with a tab that helps kind of slide it outside of that pocket. And I made that to size. And then we flip over here and we have this super cute policy closure envelope, which I did put a closure on. So we'll do that. And that has just like a little envelope type opening there I just put a very skinny little piece of ephemera there. And then that guy flips open to your back And I just did all kinds of different things. I used one of these cicada wing paper envelopes that I made in a previous video. I made some pockets, couple of pockets here out of vellum. I'll pull this out so you can see. This is embossed vellum. Oh, I probably glued my ephemera in. So just made some layered pockets with some embossed vellum. I've been obsessed with embossing vellum lately, you guys. I do it all the time. I made a tag to size for that pocket in the back. There's a pocket here. I guess I had this in here. That's kind of strange. That should go in here because it's a bigger pocket. And then I just made some little tags, and that's a sticker. I did a side pocket over here with a scrap from my Blue Ferns paper pack on Etsy. And again, just made a card. I did a lot of kind of scrap busting with the things for putting in here. So it is a pretty, there's a lot to it if you want it to be. Or you could also keep it simple and keep it flatter and not stuff it quite so full if you'd like it to be flat for Happy Mail. But we're going to go ahead and make the structure of this, and I am going to use one of these absolutely gorgeous. I love this paper pack. This just speaks to all the things. Very vintage feeling. I love this kind of grayish blue color, and then all the text, you know, the music notes, all these kinds of things. Very beautiful paper pack. So I tested out, I actually did a test on all our little flippy flaps so that I could see what's going to end up where if you have paper that has kind of pictures on it and stuff, rather than just, you know, forcing you to do something that's just a pattern paper like what I did with this one. However, I will say having that kind of blankish pattern in the back makes it nice and easy to decorate. You don't necessarily really want to end up with something that you don't want to cover up on your cover if you want to put a closure on there like this, right? So, however, I am going to do this one with this piece of paper, and what you can see with this one, so we're going to end up with 6 boxes, right? 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom. And it turned out when I did this experimental one, and I'll show you as we go through and do it, but it turned out that this lower right corner was actually my cover, which I didn't know when I picked out this paper. This was just one that I had laying around. It's a Blue Fern Studios, like fairy one. Ultimately, I've ended up not really loving it. I'm not really using them. But she came out right on the cover, which was really, really nice and pretty. So, all right. So starting from scratch on this, I am going to use a paper this time that is, I don't mind actually covering up on the front so that I can decorate and put something that will have a closure underneath it and all of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is score. So this is still from the Prima Marketing. So actually I am going to cut this edge off to make it 12 by 12. Otherwise my folio won't work out. And then I'm going to score, and I'm going to make this my outside, because that will be easier to decorate on. And then my inside is kind of one of these ones that could be cut up, but I think this will make a nice, interesting interior background. So we're just gonna score. I'm gonna make sure that I've got you where you can see me. Best of all possible worlds. Okay, so we're gonna score at 4 inches. And we're going to score at 8 inches. And then we're going to turn once, and we're going to score at 6 inches. So this is a really pretty straightforward score. 4 and 8, and then turn and score at 6. And then we're going to cut. Okay, so now we've got We've got 3 boxes across the top and 3 boxes across the bottom. Apologies if I've already said that. I want this to be as clear as possible for you because I know it's a little bit of a tricky one. So I'm going to make some folds here just to give these a little bit of, so you can see them as I'm cutting, see where they are. And so the first cut is going to be this top right corner right here. We've got this box here that's in the top right, and we're going to cut the bottom line. So it's that middle score line, the 6-inch score line that you did, and we're going to cut that just right up to that first score line that it meets. Okay, so we've got a flip there. Second cut is going to be this bottom right-hand box. Okay, and that's going to be the left side of that bottom right-hand box. Just making sure I got you. And then we're going to cut that right up to that score line up there. And that's it. No more cuts until we start actually making things. Okay, so then we're going to fold this guy. And it is a little bit tricky, but I think since I've done it now 3 times, it's going to be super easy this time. So I'm going to try to go slow and clearly, okay? So I've got my, oh, now I did it backward. My goodness. I wanted to do that with my inside up. Okay, never mind. It's okay. We're going to make this the inside, we're going to make this the outside, and we're going to make do with it. It'll be fine. When you're doing yours, you want your inside, you want your outside down and your inside up, okay? Okay, so this is just one of those projects, you guys. Sometimes you just get a project that you're like, oh yeah, this is great, I can do this, and it just wants to be done wrong every single time. Okay, so, all right. Recover. We're going to recover. So what we want to do is fold this back. So this is now our outside. Okay. No, this is our inside. Oh my goodness. Your poor brains. Okay. So we've got we folded back. This left flap here, that's going to end up being our front cover, okay? The lady with her head cut off. Well, that's a good reason to cover it up, isn't it? Okay, so that flap folds in. Oh my goodness. What can you do but laugh, right? And then you've got this flap over here that's that back flap. We're going to fold that backward, right? Just to the back here. Okay, and that's given us now 2. And so we've got this one, this is going to be our front cover, and we've got this flap that folds down that has this flap here. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of, so we've got our cover right here, we've got this flap that goes down like this, right? And we're going to take this and we're going to kind of open it up, and you can see there's this set of 3 in here. And we're going to fold that back into that set of 3. And I know that was a little tricky for me when I tried to first do it. So hopefully that's clear. And then this guy just folds over the back. That's the upside down decapitated woman with her head. That might actually not have been a great interior anyway, too. So now I can just cover her up on the front and back instead of having her on my inside. Okay, so that's your basic. Hopefully you guys can kind of laugh along with me. That's your basic structure for your folio, right? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're opening our front cover, and this page right here, this is gonna become a pocket. So I'm gonna give that a notch right in the middle. I just, you know, I don't believe in curses, but sometimes I just come across projects that I'm like, this project is cursed. No matter what I do, it will not go right. But I kind of like including some of that in my videos, right? Because I don't know. I mean, that is the process. That's the way it goes when you're a creator and when you're a crafter. And it's not good to cover that up and make it look like it was all just smooth and no problem. You know, like sometimes there are projects like this. I have projects like this too. I know you do as well. Okay, so next, I just did some inking there. And all we're gonna do is, so we've got this is our front cover. It opens up, we've got our pocket with a notch. We're gonna open up that flap and we're gonna glue along the left side and the bottom to make our pocket here. I swear this is actually easy if you just follow the directions. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am wanting to glue this guy right down here. I also want to give some ink to this piece here because that's bugging me. Okay. Yes. So then the next thing we're going to do, and in case I end up showing any of the other part of the other one, I actually did this differently on the other piece of paper because I was trying to preserve the image on this piece. But since this doesn't need preserving, we can do it the way I originally intended to. And so we've got this flap that goes up and down, right? We're going to turn that into a policy closure envelope. And we're going to just take this flap and we're going to cut it. You know, depends on where you like it. How long you want your top to be, right? So this bottom part is going to form the bottom part of your pocket, and this top part is just going to be your flap, right? So this guy's going to come back on here, and he's going to make a pocket. So we will round some corners on our top here. And we will give this guy, how did I do that on that first one? I think I did use this piece, but it's so odd because it's big actually. It's bigger. It can't have been the same piece. I wonder if I used another piece. I think I maybe did. Because you're gonna not have it go all the way. So let's use, I've got this guy. Let's use this guy. This will be fun. So let's use a different piece for this anyway. Yeah, just because I like it to be full size, you know? So I'm going to cut up another piece for this. To make that bottom part of the pocket. Yeah. Oh, I like that. This is actually part of the packaging that I saved because it was so pretty. I was just like, I'm going to use this in my projects too with this paper pack, which is so, so lovely. Okay, and so we don't want to put this down yet because we want to make a closure for it. And actually what will be nice about this is we can use it as a closure. So for my closure, I'm going to take my 1-inch circle punch and I'm going to use a piece of craft paper just because we like to make these a little sturdier. And I'm gonna do a decorative one, one side with that guy and one side a little simpler. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. And we're gonna glue those together. I'm just doing one craft circle. Normally I do two, if you've seen me do this before. When it's gonna have a lot of traffic, a lot of opening and closing, but this is, you know, just a simple little folio that's probably not gonna have lots of open and closing. It's not gonna have a lot of stuff in there. I'm not gonna stuff it. So in the meantime, while that dries, let's give this some ink around the top of this guy too, and let's talk about that inside. Okay, because there isn't a lot more to do with the structure here. This is pretty much it. You've got your decapitated lady. You've got your pocket. So this is your cover, and this is the same as my my sample cover. You've got your pocket in here, and all I did on this one is I did a big tag as a pocket for this piece. I did these layered pockets here, but you really, like, you don't have to follow this. You can do whatever you want. Card in here. I like having a tag sticking, or a tab on the top sticking out. That's nice. But again, like, this is really pretty straightforward. You can do what you like with it. Once we have our closures on, there is no more. It's up to you what you want to do with this. I just did a side pocket here. I did a vellum pocket, and I'm gonna see, actually, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and do a vellum library pocket on this one too while we wait for our pieces to dry. So you have at least some part of your decorations ready. So I've got just some embossed vellum here because I'm obsessed with vellum and embossing it. And I'm gonna just score it. So I'm gonna score this guy at about 3/8 of an inch, just because 1/2 inch is too much for this little piece that I have here that is the size of whatever fits into my embossing folder, basically. So 3/8 on each side and 3/8 on the bottom. 1/4 inch is a little too small for me. 1/2 inch is gonna be too big for this size of paper. I am really sorry about the chair too. I noticed that partway through the last time, and I don't know if it will make it into the video, but I'm gonna have to get a new one because it really is kind of annoying. And I heard it listening back on the other video when I was looking, because I suspected that the camera placement was not gonna work. Okay, so I'm just folding up on my scores. I trimmed my corners off to get rid of the excess, and I think it's gonna be a little too tall. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. Is that enough? Yeah. I like that. And I'm gonna just glue it in. Easy peasy. When you have a complicated folio that took 3 tries to get right, you need easy for the insides, right? Ooh, I meant to give that a notch too, but I didn't. Let's see if I can do it. I could pull it off. The glue still has enough time that I probably could pull it off and do it. But let's see if it's possible to do it with it glued in, because that'll be some magic if it is, right? So this guy, it's probably not, because I just can't get, I don't think I can get down in there. Here's another idea. It won't be perfect. No, I'm gonna leave it. It's okay. It didn't get notched. It's still a pocket. It's obvious it's a pocket. Okay, so these guys we're going to ink. And then let's put them in. And that'll be the last bit of it. You will be able to do whatever you like with your folio. I am gonna just use the sample in my thumbnail so as you can see. Yeah, I meant to use that one down here and this one up here. So let's put holes in these firstly so that we can see where our holes are gonna go. I'm gonna use my crocodile. I do like to mark for those just because it's a little hard to tell once you get that sucker in the crocodile. The perspective is a little funny. So it can be easy to be kind of nowhere near the center. So then I'm gonna just put these guys on here where I want them with their holes. I'll put Gaily up here and the little butterfly down here. And I'm gonna mark it. And then I'm gonna punch my holes here with the big bite because I can't reach with the handheld. And my awl is on the other side of the room. I am trying to see my mark and it's dying in the busy pattern here. There it is. And then this guy also gets his hole punched. Poor decapitated lady. It's the way it goes sometimes when you're crafting, right? What can you do? All right. Oh, goodness. And we're going to get ourselves some mini brads for these. We'll use some rose gold to go with the nice pinks in this paper set. Let's put Gaily up here. And then I'm going to cover that up with some washi tape too so that it doesn't poke anybody. And then we can put this guy on here. Where's my washi? What do I want for this? Ooh, I like the big one for this because it's gonna be nice and flat over that whole thing. It's gonna show here, whatever you put here. So maybe you want something coordinating. Maybe I'll use this Album Love Handmade stuff that I didn't know what I was gonna do with. And actually just do that whole panel. I'm gonna just cut just a tiny little bit off the top. And that'll be fun. Okay, but let's put our pocket on first. And we'll put our thread on as well. I was just thinking I didn't ink that piece, and I did actually, so that's good. One way I actually got lucky today. of not very many. Actually, I really love that paper, and I don't know that I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, let's round the edges before I pull it out of there. That's not going to work very well. Sort of worked. Sort of worked. Probably should have put something stronger behind that to make that. There, yeah, okay. I can live with that. I like it. I haven't used this washi tape before, and it's a little weird. It's different. It's like papery. See if I can get that where I want it, over the top of those brad legs. A little creasy, but okay. It's not perfect. But the outside of our envelope is beautiful. So I'm gonna put this sort of thin twine and do a knot around behind the back of that guy, and a second one to make sure it's holding. Trim that off underneath there. And we'll just wrap it around one time and give it about this much down here, so I have room to do a little knot on the bottom as well. Yes! Oh, this actually came out better. And I'm sure I can do something with this decapitated lady cover that's going to be very nice. I actually do like this a lot. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to just cover her up. Or maybe I'll just leave her and it'll be fun. She needs ink at that top. I need to change my blade and my cutter. I'm getting fuzz. Anyway, that's your folio. Apologies for the mix-up. I hope that the instructions here now are clean enough and clear enough that it's still pretty easy to follow to make this type of beautiful guy that you saw in the beginning that I went through. Thank you guys so much for watching and for putting up with me and my decapitated lady. And I will see you in the next video.